I'm just gonna bite into it. This is gonna be so unattractive. Oh gosh. Hello friends, and welcome back to Rachel's Baking Corner. Today we will be making Christmas tree cake pops. I know, interesting, right? This is kind of an idea of my own. It could have been somewhere online, but I just came up with this by myself, so just bear with me here. So I saw this idea where you take waffle cones and you flip them upside down and cover them with chocolate or frosting that's colored green, and then it looks like a little Christmas tree, and you add little candies on it to decorate it. And I was thinking to myself, what do you put inside? A lot of the recipes were like, oh, you just fill them with candy and then stick it on a cupcake, or you just put it on a cupcake in general. But then I was like, well, I don't want to make cupcakes. What if we made cake pop mix, shoved it in the waffle cones, and called it a day? And then you just bite into it, and it's a cake pop with waffle cone. I don't know how this is gonna work. All I know is it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna taste really good no matter what. So come with me on this journey to make some really cute festive treats, and it's gonna be an experiment, I suppose. So without further ado, let's talk ingredients, tools, order of operations, which I don't even know if I know yet, and we'll get baking. So of course we need cake to make cake pops. So I just bought like a classic chocolate cake mix. You can make whatever kind of cake you want for any cake pop. And I'm not really following a recipe for cake pops. Cake pops are kind of just like these ingredients you just throw together until it makes a dough-ishness, and then you just call it a day. So follow any cake pop recipe you want. I'm just making one up here. I have some frosting for the cake pop mix, and then I have frosting for the decorating on the outside with some green food coloring to make it look like a Christmas tree. The cake mix requires some eggs, water, and oil, so that's all that there. I have my waffle cones here. I have some chocolate for melting. This is regular milk chocolate since it is a chocolate cake. You could do white chocolate if you're gonna do a white or flavored cake that's not chocolate. And then when it comes to decorating, I really wanted to find some cute decorative sprinkles. And sure, if I'd gone to Hobby Lobby or a craft store, I really probably could have found it. But I just went to my grocery store and they didn't have any Christmas specific sprinkles. So I improvised. I found some red and green M&Ms. I found just regular M&Ms, but the minis, so small, but different colors. And then I found these Warhead sour candies. Not that it would taste that good, but they're like little Christmas trees and snowflakes and candy canes. That'll just be cute little things that you can just decorate on there. I'm sure you could find any candy, any sprinkles, and do it. This would be an amazing idea to do with kids. So, you know, tailor that to whatever you would want to do with your kiddos, or if you're making a theme for a party, things like that. That's it for ingredients. And then tools, I'm just gonna mix my cake in a mixing bowl. I'm gonna bake it in just the biggest round pan I could find. And then you don't need a chocolate melter. You could always microwave your chocolate as long as you follow instructions, because it could burn. Or you could double boil, where you have a pot of boiling water and a clear glass on top and mix it until melted. That's just, honestly, if you buy candy melts, they're really easy to microwave and it's super fast. I just happen to have this chocolate melter because my sister got it for me like decades ago. I've used it thousands of times. It's my go-to, so I just like to use it. Other than that, all we gotta do is kind of get going here. You ready? I'm ready. Let's do it. All right, let's start with our cake. So I got the Betty Crocker Super Moist Chocolate Fudge Cake Mix. I'm just gonna cut this open and pour it into my bowl. I don't know if I've said it on this channel before, but there is nothing wrong with boxed cake mix. If I'm making you a cake for a special occasion, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be boxed cake mix. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It turns out perfect every single time. That's the whole reason why it's like exists. It tastes great. You know everyone's gonna like it. You know it's not gonna be difficult. And it's cheap. Sure, you could like put in the work of making your own cake. And for some cakes I will. Like I like making homemade red velvet cake. It's not very hard. Oops. And the ingredients are pretty simple. But if I'm gonna put in the work of decorating a cake, I'm not gonna put a lot of work into making the cake. It's just like, there's no point. It's the same thing with pie crust. It's a perfect thing on its own. You don't need to make it difficult. If you're a home baker, obviously if you're like some fancy chef, do whatever you want. Okay, now that tangent is over, we're gonna pour our oil and our water in. I cracked 3 eggs, and we're just gonna whip this real good. Probably says for like 7 minutes or something. Beat vigorously by hand for 2 minutes. I'm just stabbing this around to kind of get the powder saturated. And we're gonna start mixing. In the meantime, some other ideas I saw if you didn't want to do cake pops, but you wanted to try this Christmas tree thing, especially with the kids. They got plain white sugar cookies. And then you just dip the bottom of the cones in chocolate and just like stick it on top, or you frost the cookies and stick it on top. I also thought of filling it up with the cake mix and then like propping them up in the oven to bake like that. So there's just whole cake in there. You could do pieces of cake versus making cake pop, just crumble up some cake into like small pieces and put it in there. Shoot, what else? You could stick it on top of a cupcake, buy some pre-made cupcakes or make your own cupcakes, and then put your sugar cone on top and then decorate it like a tree. There are so many cute applications for this idea. I love it. All right, that's about 2 minutes. So I'm gonna prep my pan. I already cut out a piece of parchment. Okay, so I'm just going to rub the oil around my pan, make sure it's up on the sides of my pan so that my cake doesn't stick. Easy removal. I'm gonna slide my parchment around the oil so that it's nice and firm, sits in place, nice and greased up. We're going to pour our batter into our pan. I already have my oven preheated to 350. I'm just gonna pour this in. All right, so I already have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm gonna bake this starting at like 23 minutes and then I'll check on it. It could be 23 to 28 minutes. Just follow the directions on whatever box cake mix you follow. Toothpick comes out clean, that's how you know it's done. And then I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit. Trim around the sides to make sure it's not stuck to the pan, flip it out of the pan, and then let it cool completely because we don't want to be mashing hot cake. It'll kind of mess it all up. So let it cool completely for like 15 to 30 minutes. All right, so I'll see you when we have a baked and cooled cake. All right, so our cake is baked. I've got my chocolate melting. Let's start making the filling. First, I have like this little masher. I'm just gonna break the cake apart into just pieces and toss it in here. So that's good for now. Doesn't really matter how you do it. Let's just kind of mash this up. Smush, 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 smush. Probably could use a big mashed potato masher. I just like my little one. Okay. As we add the ingredients, it'll continue to mash up. So let me move this. Let's stir our chocolate. Let's see how melted it is. Still need a little more time. In the meantime, let's open up our frosting. We're not using this whole thing, don't be alarmed. Let's just start with a nice big scoop. I do this based off of consistency. Like I said, it's not really a recipe I'm going off of, it's just how I've always made this. I think I'm gonna have to give up the mashed potato masher and use my spatula. Okay, we're just gonna mash this around until the frosting is mixed with all of the cake. I guess I should say it in case it's not known. If you've never heard of a cake pop, it's kind of like a truffle. You mash together cake, frosting, and a comparative chocolate melted, and then roll it into little balls, and then you dip them in melted chocolate. And it's a little truffle. Got my cones here. I've never bought these before. Okay, so I have a little pan lined with a silicone baking mat just so that these don't stick. So my chocolate is melted. I'm gonna pour that in. Let's not do all of it just in case. Let's just start like that. Mix that in. This is definitely gonna be very decadent. Okay. Let's taste it. Chocolate. Mmm. Yummy. Tastes great. Okay. All right, this is where I don't really know what I'm doing. Again, I just randomly thought of this. Let's get a cone. Let's fill it with some cake pop mix. Okay, so I have filled this until it's flat on the bottom. I guess we could put a little bit of chocolate to kind of close it off. That's a good idea. On the bottom here, just to seal it. Good. And I'm gonna just set it down. And I'm gonna, oh, this is broken. I guess I didn't think that some could be broken. That's okay. Okay. And I'm just gonna keep doing this. I have a lot of cake batter left, or like cake pop mix left. So I will just be making cake pops. Cool. So total, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not bad. I guess I could have just said -2. Okay. These are gonna go in the freezer and we'll color our frosting for the outside. These won't need long. Okay, so I have just a canister of vanilla frosting. You could certainly make your own frosting if you felt like it. I don't feel like it. I'm gonna add a bunch of green to make it a nice deep green color. We don't want no shamrock looking cakes or trees. We want green. Woo! My heart. Wonder if I added some blue. No, that would make it more turquoise. It's just a little Grinch colored right now. That's okay. Just keep going until I'm satisfied. Oh, it's like Sully. No, not Sully. Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. green. I think I've used up all my green. I have a neon green. Wonder if that would help. Let's just keep going till we find out. Ooh, that might work. Okay, so my decoration choices. We've got these warheads. Oh, these are huge. No, that's way too big. That's wild. Okay, so we're not gonna do this. Okay, no worries. M&Ms to the rescue, and I have some sprinkles that'll work too. So we have some little M&Ms. Put some of those in a cup. We got just classic red and green M&Ms, but these are full-size M&Ms. So put some of those in a cup. All of our little extra stuff here. Our snowflakes, our little white and blue balls, and our stars. And then we're gonna put the trees into the cupcake cups as like to display them. Okay, so there's all of our decorating stuff. Here's our bases for our tree, because I'm not putting them on a cupcake, you know. And our frosting. Okay, let's pull them out. This should be ready by now. Putting these in the freezer is just to make sure that chocolate sets and is nice and solid. It has nothing to do with like anything else. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Let's frost it first. Oh, that did perfect. That's hefty. How am I gonna hold this, man? I have an idea. Okay, so I'm gonna take the tree and set it on the bowl. That way I can kind of hold it like this, and we'll do the top at the very end. So I'm just gonna smear it in frosting. The wafer makes a nice base for the frosting because it kind of wants to stick to the texture. So that's nice. I'm sure if you felt like filling up a piping bag that would probably be a little easier, maybe. So I'm just trying to go up and down until it's mostly covered. It's okay if a little bit of the bottom shows. So now I think I'm gonna just kind of go like this in a circle from the top to the bottom, just to kind of make it look like it has leaves and branches and stuff. Just swirl in a diagonal till you get to the bottom. Good. Okay, and then let's get it in its cup. Boop. Like that. And then we will frost the top. There we go. Yay, our little tree. Oh, I gotta be gentle. Okay, actually, let's put it up here. And let's decorate it. It's our first one. Let's do red and green M&Ms for this one. Here we go. And then I'm gonna take one of my little silver stars and stick it on the top. Boop. Yay, it's so cute. I love it. And now I just have to do that 9 more times. I will catch you in a second when I have all 10 of these frosted, because this is gonna take me a minute. After like 30 minutes, here we are. We got our cake pops. Christmas trees. This was fun. I went ahead and turned the camera off. Chris came out and helped me a little bit. We got to decorate them. It was really fun. After you frost, I learned the easiest way was to hold the cone sideways, used the spatula, and went in an up and down motion just to get the whole thing covered, besides the very tippy top. Then I put it straight up and just twisted it and went down in a diagonal like this to just kind of give that swirly. Some of them I tried a little bit of different textures, but I didn't really love it. It's just fun to play with. You can do this with your kids, and it doesn't matter how they look because they're just gonna get covered in candy and then eaten, so that's what matters. Without further ado, let's try them, shall we? Okay, so I'm gonna taste test the one that got really messy on the sides here. I don't really know how to go about eating this. I'm gonna just hold it by the bottom with the cupcake cup. I'm just gonna bite into it. This is gonna be so unattractive. Oh gosh. I didn't get any cake pop mix, so it's just waffle cone. Okay, I hate to say it, but I gotta go in for bite number 2 because I see the cake pop mix. It's in there. It's in there. It looks really weird. Okay, let's try. Mmm. It's a mess. I love it. I'm sure kids would just love this. The cake pop turned out good. This is more like sugar cookies that you just want to decorate for the fun of decorating. Doesn't really matter how much it tastes. Just tastes like sugar at the end of the day. Very messy. I guess I didn't think it through how messy this would be. And the act of eating it is a little like but oh well, it looks cute. It looks cute, that's about all I can say. I'm gonna be finding frosting in crevices for days. Well, thank you so much for watching. It was an idea, it was an experiment, and it's something fun, and honestly, I'm gonna bring these to work tomorrow and just see who is willing to give it a try. It'll be really funny watching my coworkers just stick ice cream cones in their face. Maybe if you grabbed it, if you're not afraid to get frosting on you, and flip it over and then bite into it, that might be a smarter way to go about it. We'll see. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had fun making it. Leave a comment down below for some suggestions of videos you'd like to see me try, recipes. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, like this video, tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your nieces and nephews, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Thank you, I love you, mwah. Goodbye.